One question I get asked a lot is, first of all, why should you farm gold before TBC comes out, if it's going to be easier to farm gold in TBC? And another question I get asked is how to farm gold in Classic right now, to prepare yourself for TBC. So in this video, I aim to answer those questions as well as show you guys my favorite gold farming locations in Classic WoW that does not include being a mage. So first of all, why should you farm gold before TBC comes out, if it will be easier in TBC? Well, the answer to that is really simple, and is that you can farm the gold you need before the expansion comes out. In TBC we get access to flying and epic flying, all of which will in total cost you 5,000 gold. On top of that, you will also have to spend gold on materials for your crafted items, if you want to get your best in slot crafted items from professions, which will most likely be very expensive as well. Another luxury item is the gigantic bag that you can buy from Paris Hilton, or Harris Pilton, in TBC, and these bags cost you a whopping 1,200 gold per bag. Now sure, you could enter TBC with no gold, make some gold while leveling, and get your regular flying mount at level 70, and then you can farm for all of the gold you need for the epic flying mount, but that will make you move around so much slower than people that already have the epic flying mount, which makes you way less efficient when it comes to open world farming. And even just flying around doing quests or anything else, chances are that by farming the gold you need right now, you will make that gold back with the increased efficiency it will give you in TBC itself. So that brings me to my next question, how to farm gold right now in Classic WoW to prepare for TBC without being a mage. For this I will go through this in several level brackets, so there's something in here for everyone, because you can actually start making decent gold starting already at level 10. This is done by farming light feathers, which can drop from harpies, moonkins, and any bird creature. And for example, my favorite places to farm this is this place right here in Darkshore, where you can go already at level 10, and this place right here in the Barrens, where I would recommend being around level 12. Another place to farm light feathers as well as vendor items and silk cloth is the Harpy Cave in the 1000 Needles, which is a level 28 plus farm, and literally all you do is go into the cave and farm harpies and loot feathers and vendor items. These are both incredibly useful gold farms for the lower level brackets, and for new and returning players it's a great way to make sure that you can afford your level 40 and level 60 mounts, as well as your class ability training while leveling, and if you farm enough you will probably have a lot of gold to spare as well. So with these semi-boring farms out of the way, let's get into a couple of other farms as well that are more intended for higher level players, which is also when you might want to grind mobs for experience anyway, because it's almost as fast as questing, and in certain level brackets it's even considered faster. So you can level at a decent rate while also making gold. The best of both worlds, right? Most of these gold farms are related to raiding materials, because that is where the most of the gold is right now in Classic WoW, outside of mage boosting of course, so any materials used in crafting consumables to raid Noxramas with is going to make you gold. So the first high level gold farm I want to talk about is the Furbolgs in Winter Spring. These guys drop an item called the Winterfall Firewater, which a lot of people are still using for their raids. Additionally, if you do the pre-quest for it, you can get some Winterfall Echoes from here as well, and if you're going to farm here I would definitely recommend doing that quest, so you can loot those echoes, because that brings in a decent amount of extra gold. Winterfall Firewater currently sells for 5 gold each on my server, and if you add in the Winterfall Echoes I'm able to farm about 80 gold per hour at this location, and keep in mind I don't have the best gear either, so the more gear you have the better this will be. The prices also tend to be better on PvP servers, because there's usually more competition for the mobs, plus the world PvP makes it harder to farm. Next up we have my first gold farm that I actually did while leveling myself in Classic WoW, and my go-to farm once I hit level 60 as well, which is farming Fellcloth. There are many different places you can farm this, some places have higher drop rates than others, and some classes can farm this in dungeons, but personally I just go to my local Felsatyr camp either in Ashara or Fellwood. I usually go to Ashara as I feel like the drop rates there are a bit better, but it also tends to have a lot of competition, in which case having the Satyr camp in the northwestern part of Fellwood as a backup is a good idea. The price of fellcloth has also gone up a bit recently because people realize mooncloth is still usable in TBC Classic, and the cooldown for crafting mooncloth is gone in TBC so people can mass produce it, so people are stocking up on fellcloth right now, and you can take advantage of this price increase by farming and selling this fellcloth, and because of the increased price, this actually becomes a really good gold farm. It's not insane by any means, but not at least compared to mage boosting, but you should easily get over 100 gold per hour from this if you don't have too much competition. Another gold farm that I really enjoyed a lot in Phase 5 of Classic WoW was the Sandworm Meat gold farm, because all you have to do is run around Silithus and look for some sandworms, you kill them and loot them. The price of Sandworm Meat has actually dropped a little bit since then, but people are still using this for stat food for raiding, so it's a nice way of making some gold, especially if you want to grind mobs while leveling anyway. Another really nice thing about this is that you can also go and farm some earth elementals right up here in Silithus as well, and elemental earth actually sells for about 2.5 gold each. That could be fairly lucrative. That being said, both of these gold farms probably will not give you more than 50 gold per hour, at least not with the prices of my server, but if your server has better prices, you will obviously make more gold as well. There's also a couple of air elementals up here as well that can drop essence of air, but these are farmed 24/7. Another gold farm that is actually very lucrative right now is farming elemental water. You can start farming this fairly early, as you will find scalding elementals at level 28 in 1000 needles. There's also a very popular island to farm these in Stranglethorn Vale at level 36, and you can also find them in Fellwood at level 53, just to name a couple of locations. Personally, I mostly use the Stranglethorn Vale farm for elemental water, and I make about 100 gold per hour with my server's prices. And one more thing you can do to make gold is fishing. That's right, you can make a decent amount of gold simply by fishing, and I've actually done this myself, and I made 1000 gold on a brand new server as a level 20 character only by fishing, which was a part of a giveaway I did back in the day. Nightfin snappers are selling for about a gold each right now, and you can easily fish up 20 to 30 of these per hour if you fish at the right time. One cool thing here is that these fish are called nightfin, and you can only fish them at certain times of the day. From 6 AM to 12 PM you can find both nightfin and sunscale. From 12 PM to 6 PM you can only find sunscale. From 6 PM to 12 AM you can find both again, and from 12 AM to 6 AM you will find only nightfin, meaning that for the optimal gold per hour here you will want to fish at night time. Another cool thing is that you can fish these in Moonglade, and there's a trick to get yourself to Moonglade from Darkshore by swimming and drowning. I would also recommend picking up at least herbalism or mining, as this will also make you quite a bit of gold while farming or leveling. So there it is guys, a couple of gold farms you can use while leveling, and even go back and revisit at level 60 for more gold as well, just in case you don't want to do mage boosting. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you leave a like down below for the YouTube algorithm, and also make sure you subscribe to my channel if you're interested in classic TBC content, as I'm uploading a lot of TBC videos and you don't want to miss them. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon.